Hello and greeting, the Baha'i greeting of Allahu to all the people of the planet. Today still is Monday, time is 7:55, 14th of the May, and I'm taking this opportunity to explain another session to explain this blessed Mathnavi of Baha'u'llah. In these lines, Baha'u'llah continues to emphasize on this concept that we have, still we have had of the previous dispensations, where we take certain object in a story or a certain narrative as to be a standard. And Baha'u'llah says time has come that for us to grow up, to look into the fate of God as it's required to look at it today. He continues with those concepts. One of the concepts is the Moses had this staff of the Moses that he threw in the front of Pharaoh to devour those snakes. Baha'u'llah says, اون عصا از آب و گل آمد برون. That staff from the water and clay came out. So that staff is the staff of the water and clay, because it was symbolized really in a staff, so that staff is a material. Water and clay meaning material. But you have to be careful here. He's not talking about an actual staff, material stuff. No, the concept that you have of that material, a staff that apparent, was in the hand of Moses, and what he used it for, and the usage of it is nothing but water and clay. What's pertain to water and clay, that means it's temporary, it's not eternal, it's changeable, it's not to be trusted. Then he says, in Asa, this staff, now is referring to his revelation. Asa, represent the revelation. In Asa as nar dil bashad kunun. This staff, as from nar, the fire of the heart. Del means heart in Persian. So this asa, this staff, which is the revelation, it comes from the fire of the del. Nar del bashad is kunun, now. Does that mean that Moses at the time when he had this staff, because people wouldn't understand in other ways, God would have to use those kind of measures, talking to people that are not apparently of the high understanding, they haven't evolved yet, was really the Asa that did that at the time of Moses? Not really. Even the Moses, which he says he went to the mountain and he had the fire and the burning bush, all of that is the stories. It was really the heart of the Moses. So if you look at Moses, the Moses that actually goes to the mountain and see the burning bush, that Moses is old. It's an old concept of Moses. The new concept of the Moses is the fire of his heart. And his heart was burning when he would see all this transgression of people against each other. And that fire finally materialized itself in saving the people. Continuing, talks about again his revelation. In asa nari بود کز شعله‌اش. In asa, this staff, nari بود, is a fire, که as that from شعله‌اش. شعله means flame, So one flame of this fire, he says, what does it do? Mi besuzat. It will burn away. Pardehaye, the veils of, the curtains of el-logash, malice, cheating. So this is to be thought about. Why is this that he says his revelation, from the fire of his revelation, he says, one flame of it, it will burn away the veils of malice, of dishonesty. Qash, they use it for the gold. If the gold is not pure, they say there's qash in it. There's dishonesty in it, there's impurity in it. El-Qash, impurities. It will burn away those veils of impurity. In the Baha'i faith, the covenant breakers, those who have this el-Qash in them, impurities, they would never be found when they're nobodies. When there's this working guy goes to work, he never reads books, never investigates into the faith. But as they grow to investigate in the faith, shu'la, the fire starts to inflame, blazes out. When it gets ablaze, this person becomes active. He does read more books. He might possibly write some books. He definitely gets involved in teaching. And he gets close to the faith of God, closer and closer and closer. He becomes bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. At that time is going to be his downfall. So a lot of us, we're so low in our standard, as Baha'u'llah said previously, kafir. Our kufr is so little, our infidelity is so little, that we cannot be even marked as covenant breaker. But if we start to get bigger and bigger and bigger, and start to be active, become somebody, such as, poor Mason Remy, or many others, thousands of them really. I cannot say thousands, but there are at least hundreds of them, a few hundreds of them. That these people, they were in the beginning great Baha'is, and they start to do activity and became big, 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 big. Then all of a sudden, they become covenant breaker. They didn't know what's inside them. If you have that problem within yourself, solve it. You can't hide it. If you hide it, hide that doubt that you have. And you say, never mind that. And you start to teach and teach and teach. From within you become very complicated individual, evolved. That little things inside, that little doubt, it grows. It becomes big and breaks away. But you would never know unless you come and put the flame up. Once the flame, one shu'la, one flame goes up and up and up, it will start to burn the impurities. When they became covenant breaker, they just showed that they had impurity in them, and it burned it away. Everyone found about them. So the little doubt, it's a small doubt, it can't kill you. But as you grow, it becomes bigger doubt. It's become bigger and bigger. As your knowledge increases and you start to think, and then alongside of your growth, your germ grows with you and brings you down. For example, imagine a scenario. I've written this in my Persian poetry. Many people are there in a room, 10 people in the room. They're confined in that room. And let's say there's some kind of a, we don't know who's bad, who's good, but they're confined in that room into the darkness. There's no light. All these people, they talk each other's, maybe even exchange with each other's. No one knows really each other's face. Till one day, ceiling light comes and lightens the room. What will happen? As soon as the light comes, the faces are shown. All of a sudden you say, oh my God, this guy's sitting beside me as a leper. That guy has this, that guy has that. Before that you didn't know. The light that comes in, all of a sudden it shows who is good, who's bad. When I was a Baha'i, became a Baha'i at 18 years old, I thought, good, I'm going to go straight to my brother and my other brothers, but the whole country to know about it. I wouldn't know them. As soon as I say to one of my brothers, second eldest brother, about Baha'i faith, and I keep talking, he has slapped my face for the first time in his life. So badly I fell down. I told him, why did you do that? He said, you're talking stuff that's total infidelity. I said, I'm your brother, you love me. Why do you hate me? He says, you talk about Baha'u'llah and you do not know what you're talking about. I never knew. One shortly of it, as Baha'u'llah says, came in, I saw the face of my brother, that he actually isn't a stupid person. Totally stupid, he doesn't know. But then I saw the whole country is like this. I wouldn't know it. That showed, as Baha'u'llah says, come in, show me the qallugash, showed me the impurity. Among the Baha'is, I wouldn't know it. How would they react to the matter of eldership? How could I think, as a Baha'i to myself, that universal house of justice would react to me like this? That they don't even send a letter to me. They don't even contact me. They send somebody who's totally an imbecile, a physicist, great physicist, great, I don't know, not physicist, psychiatrist. But in a matter of religion, he totally doesn't know anything. He may talk to some Joe citizen, but not a person who's a specialist in the faith, and I found that there's a lot of flaws in him. So, then all of a sudden I found out, oh my God. I remember I was talking to my nephew. He said, it's no wonder that you are here. It is because of the way they act. So, when that fire comes in, it enlightens the situations. All of a sudden we find out who is right, who is not. So it does. This asal, which is the revelation of God, when it comes, one shu'lah of it, one flame of it, okay, it burns away those veils. You would know then if it is in yourself or if it is in the others. That's what it does. It's an amazing. That's why they call it the day of reckoning. It's very amazing that no one would react if I would say I am God himself in Iran. They say, be it. Is it worse to say that I am God than to say I am a Baha'i? If I say I am God in Iran, the regime will not kill me for it. But if I say I'm a Baha'i, they will kill me right away. Why? Because when I say I'm God, it's not true. But when I say I'm a Baha'i, it's true. There's truth in it. So immediately it shows up. You know, the qallugash shows up. It's not what has been said. It's who has said, and the truth is in the word. The effect of the words are different when it is word of God. Anyways, continues Baha'u'llah, says, in asal baudi bovad کَز قوم هود. This asa, this staff, this revelation is the wind. Is the wind that from قوم هود. قوم means the people, the nation, the tribe actually. Hud. Hud, which I wrote down H-O-O-D, it actually in real English is H-U-D. I wrote down Hud because that's my way of transliteration. So there's no mistake that it is Hud, it's not Had or something, it's Hud. Hud is a prophet. There's another one, Saleh. They're both, their names is in the Book of Certitude. These two prophets are not in the Bible or in the Torah or in the Pentateuch, in the Old Testament and the New Testament. It's not. Hud is one of them. Apparently, according to the historians, I don't know how true these things are. I have no ways of examining it at the moment. That apparently has been, a prophet has been around the Yemen, south, you know, of the Saudi Arabia, Yemen, you know Yemen right now. And they were called, the nation used to be, it's called Ad, A-U-D, Ad. And their prophet was Hud. God sent it to them and told them to not worship idols and whatnot, and they attacked him, beat him up. He goes back. Finally, Hud promised them that you're going to die. For 7 days it's written that the wind came and just killed them all. Except for a few of them that somewhere it says they were the Canaanites and people of Canaan, that they went up. Because Yahud, if you add a Ye in front of it, becomes Yahud, and Yahud means Jew. So Hud means the person who has been guided, and Yahud comes from that. So one could say that, you know, Yahud and Hud are related. To think that people of Jews, they came from Had, came from the Hud in the south of Arabia is questionable. They were always up there in Israel, up north. But he says there was that wind that Hud, the prophet of God, promised them. And this wind, as it would blow, he knew who is infidel, who is not. And automatically those who were not would kill them. So was it a wind? Of course not. But these things appears in the form of the material form many, many times. It does. If God doesn't want somebody to die, time hasn't come. Basically, it seems nothing can do it. Sometimes God has risen, or the person has done things that within the nature of God, she gets protected, like that Arizona woman. I really admire her, and that was the greatest miracle that I have seen. The bullet goes through the head of somebody and she's still alive. So he says that revelation, that a staff of Moses at the time of Hud, it turned into a wind. It was a staff, but it turned into a wind that mishanawsat. He recognizes, the wind recognizes, mu'min, the believer, as from kafir, infidel. Juhud means Jew. So, if it is a Jew, kafir, or mu'min, the poem, the way it is written, it seems that a Jewish kafir, a Jewish infidel, and a Jewish believer. But the wind would know which one of them is bad, and it will distinguish it. So it's a distinguishing power, what Baha'u'llah says in the people of the Hud. It goes back to teach us the concept, Baha'u'llah. He says, کشتی آمد اون عصا در عهد نو. It became ark. کشتی means ark. کشتی آمد. Became ark. On that asa, that staff, that at time of Noah. So, in the time of Noah, the same staff was his ark. Okay, so all of these are a material manifestation of a spiritual power that will protect people. But if Baha'u'llah says, don't think that it's really just an ark, as such as a ship, a wooden ship. The idea is bigger than that. Not bigger than that. So, and then he says, Hama asa, also asa, the same staff, that ahde, in the time of Isa, Jesus, gashed, turned into ruh, spirit. What was teaching people at the time of Jesus Christ? The Spirit of God, because he says the Son of God. The same staff turned into become the Spirit of God. That was saving people and teaching people. But all of this is not a degradations of Moses or Jesus, that they were not in any shape or form infallible. They were all infallible. What we Baha'is say, that all the prophets of God are perfect, and there are not two types of perfections, only one type, and there's one God, therefore they're all equal. However, the message is different. The message of Baha'u'llah, of course, is far, far greater than the message of Moses, isn't it? This is when Baha'u'llah, because we might make mistake, and thinking that he's actually saying that Moses was nobody, was not equal, or Jesus, he come back and says that, to clarify this, he says, Musa. Ya, then the Musa, Musa is the name, Ya then means, oh Musa. Musa, oh Musa, oh Moses, Narat, your fire, Ze from John, the soul, Shu'la kashid, ablazed. It set blazed, oh Moses, your fire set blazed from your soul. It wasn't any mountain or burning bush and all that. Those are just examples. They are just a manifestation of something. The reality is bigger than that. Therefore, he says, pass, therefore, betur jan, to the Sinai of soul. Hami, we all the time bayad recede. Says. So he says, oh Moses, your fire came from the soul, your soul. Therefore, we have to reach to the Sinai of soul, not the Mount Sinai. It's nothing there. I, have opinion of my own that when they say a holy place, to me, it cannot be a man-made. But if it is nature-made, I went to Arizona in a reservation. What's that reservations of the Navajos? And there was this very strange cut into the ground. Whatever it was called, canyon antelope, I think, something like that, antelope canyon. So it was very wavy. I felt a lot of a spiritual power, because the nature of God, which is definitely from God, is actually have made this, totally is made by God. To me, such place, especially waterfalls I like, it just totally shows that the earth is alive, the waterfall is singing, is talking, it's the mouth of the earth, the mountains surrounding. It is a holy place for me. If you want to pray, that's the prayer. Buildings, when we make it, it becomes offices. Except when God himself, the manifestation of God himself decide to do such as the Baha'i places in Israel, in Haifa, because that's order of Baha'u'llah, order of Abdu'l-Baha and Shobi Effendi is personally involved in that. Those places are so very, very holy. If you ever go to Shrine of the Bab, it's so glorious and magnificent from outside. But when you go inside, it's very amazing. You think this work is totally not done by professionals. None of the corners in the room, they're all wavy. The workers at the time, they didn't know probably to put it straight right up. None of the corners were straight. It is so simple. I felt the floor has nothing on it, just the carpets was in there. So inside is so simple. It's the outside is that glory to attract you because you believe in that glory and that gold. Only to tell you that that is not the case. It is the simplicity. When you come to it, it's nothing but simplicity. So what was the lesson here? It was that the manifestation and revelation and the machinery of God operates through different names, through different instrument and different time. Sometimes Noah's Ark, other times is the staff of Moses, the other side is that fatherlessness of Jesus, you know. At the time of Muhammad, it is his book, Quran. And so all of that is actually the same. But we have to raise our understanding to know all those differences indicating one thing: the operating power hand of God. The hand of God is operating. That's the power of the hand of God operating. And one beautiful point was that this is the fire that when set blaze, it will burn away the impurities. So if you are not pure in heart, you do not have 100% belief in Baha'u'llah and Baha'i faith, and you just joined, be careful. Because if you go up and up and up and up, it will show itself. People will know you and you become covenant breaker and you fall down. That is good for you because you are known now. Some of these guys, nobody knows them. They even themselves, they don't know that they have broken the covenant, and they die and they have a serious problem on the other side. Serious problem, you know. But I hope God forgive everyone. I mean, He likes to, but He can't. Because you made yourself, you wrote your file, you said you are this and that and that. So you have to live with what you said you are, isn't it? He won't be able to help you. All right, my friend, another session finished. I have to continue this till it's over. I think we have passed about 200 lines right now, but there's another 100 lines left. I've been urged by others that there's another writing of Baha'u'llah, and the same book is Arabic. It's not a Mathnavi, it's called Qaside or Qaside. They're asking me to do that. I will have to see how the curriculum allows me to do that. For now, Allahu Akbar.